All right, I'm not even gonna lie. I have no idea the last time when I rode this motorcycle. I think it's been well over a year. And I am definitely not proud to admit that to you guys. I know a lot of you guys on the channel have fallen in love with the Dyna ever since I started YouTube, and a lot of you guys were really sad to see her get pushed to the wayside. You know, she's so pretty. But in this video, I am officially going to take her out for a ride. I think we're gonna go grab some coffee, keep it so old school. Old school, her two wheels. Let's get her started up. Let's see how many miles this bike has on her. 34,170. Gosh, I haven't ridden her in so long. I feel bad. I hope I remember how to ride this damn thing. But let's go ahead and get her warmed up. Yeah, she's getting really corroded. A lot of rust spots and just some general corrosion. My husband just took this bike out for a ride, and he said that he noticed the brake, the front brake, was not disengaging. So yeah, it looks like it's still on. Yep, so it looks like every time I use that front brake, I'm gonna have to make sure I push it back out so that it disengages. That's not a good feeling. Oh wow. Oh wow. What even is this anymore? Aww. Hi, Knox. Damn, yeah. Oh, poor girl's getting so rusty. She, when we lived in Florida, she had to sit outside and did not do her too good. Let's go see how she rides. All right, guys, I'm already going to be really honest with you. I forgot how much this motorcycle shakes. And I know that sounds so stupid to say, but I'm so used to riding newer, modern motorcycles. Like already, my butt has gone numb. It's itching from how much it's shaking, and my eyeballs are vibrating so hard. It's actually distracting. It's hard to see the road. So even my mirrors, like I can't tell if there's anything. Well, I mean, obviously I can see if there's objects, but if there was like a cop behind me, I probably wouldn't be able to see the lights on top of the car or anything. Like it is so shaky. My God, how did I ride this thing for so long? You gotta know, when I bought this bike in 2018, this is my first Harley Davidson I ever owned. I have only ever test ridden Harleys before I bought this bike. It was mostly just Sportsters. I test rode some Sportsters. I did, what was it? It was a Sportster 48. I rode an Iron 883, and then I rode my father-in-law's Sportster 1200, his XL. And it was a great experience. Like, I am so grateful that Harley Davidson offers test rides, because the very first time I hopped on the Dyna, I was absolutely blown away with how smooth it felt compared to the Sportster. Dude, I cannot believe how, like, numb my butt is already going. Oh my God, what is that in the road? Ew, oh baby. A little squealer pig dead in the road. But anyway, it is, it feels like a foreign world to me right now, hopping on this bike. Like, the friction zone feels completely different, the braking feels completely different, and then like I said, just how much this bike vibrates. Jesus. It's really bad. But I forgot we put the new front and rear full Legend suspension on this motorcycle before I packed it and took it down to Florida with me in 2024. So the suspension feels great. Like, the bumps and stuff feel wonderful. It's just we had to get new motor mounts put in it at the a little after the 30,000 mile service that I had, and I really think that's why I'm just feeling it so much more, is just those rigid motor mounts. But basically, I just kind of wanted to take this bike out for a quick little rip, a nice little test ride, and give you guys the rundown on what we're doing with her. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I for sure thought I was gonna sell this bike last year, and I've told you over and over again, I'm never gonna sell this bike. I'm never gonna sell this bike. I'm learning to never say never, especially in the world we are living in right now in the United States. It is hard times, and I know it might look all glamorous and new bikes and new parts and new everything on this channel, and you guys got to remember that, you know, when I make these YouTube videos and I earn money from YouTube for making these videos, it is technically a business. So every single thing that you see on the channel that I purchase or that is donated or given to me as a PR agreement or anything, it all goes on my IRS, on my tax records, and like nothing is really free, if I'm being honest. It's very expensive to ensure that I'm doing everything by the books and legally, and everything is documented. So it is like at the end of the year, I mean, it's April right now. We actually just had tax day here in America. And yeah, it's a big shocking factor when you see it at the end of the year. You think that, you know, you made all this money, and absolutely no, you did not. So everything that I do with a purpose, and I only accept sponsorships from companies and people that I truly enjoy and truly want to work with, because it's just not worth it for me in the long run to do it if I'm not either A, getting paid for it, help me cover the cost of my bills, or B, if it's products that I'm just really not interested in. So right now, the idea of having motorcycles sitting in my garage that I do not frequently ride, it's a bit concerning. You know, I still have full coverage and I pay insurance on every single motorcycle I own. And that adds up at the end of the year. So, you know, when you're not riding, it's just like, damn, that was quite a few, couple $100 I could have put into savings, and insurance isn't that big of a deal. But at the end of the day, it's just, I don't want this bike to rot. And that's what she was doing. She just sat in that garage and she was rotting. So I think our plan for this year with this motorcycle is, I think we're going to give her a little R&R. I mentioned it in one of my previous videos that, you know, the Dyna's going to get some upgrades here soon. And when I say upgrades, I don't mean like a full-on new engine or a motor rebuild or anything like that. No, we're going to be very practical, very low budget with this bike. We're really just going to try to take care of her, you know, prolong her life. Like I just showed you, she's got a lot of rust going on right now, and that was a long time coming. She is almost a 20-year-old motorcycle, honestly, about a 15-year-old motorcycle, 14, 18, 16, Jesus, I can't do math. No, 15, yeah. I just want her to be good, be as good as she absolutely can be. The motor is wonderful. She rides great, everything's great. But there are a few issues that we're having with, like I said, the front brake's a little sticky. Might need to replace that. We're going to probably take apart the whole front end, the bars and everything, and get some parts powder coated, and maybe do some nickel plating on some of the hardware just to help it really prolong her life. So I'm really excited. All of that's going to be happening over on my husband's channel, actually, all of the nitty gritty detail stuff. So if you're interested in seeing like detailed, fine-tuned maintenance and taking care of motorcycles and, you know, freshening them up, head over to my husband's channel. It's just Jordan Ray. You can find his link down in every single YouTube video description that I have. But I'm really excited for that project, honestly. Like, I really love this bike. And then something else, okay, well, the front brake works, my God. Something else that I very much have been made aware of lately is, dude, this bike, there's no warranty. It's used, it's old, and oh yeah, good suspension. It's not very technologically advanced. And by not very, I mean pretty much at all. Of course, it is still considered a modern motorcycle, and it does still have like a little computer in the brain to read and do things. I don't know how else to explain that. But what I mean is there's no infotainment, there's no radio, there's no GPS like navigation, there's nothing. This bike it's pretty pure, in my opinion. It's a pretty pure motorcycle, especially compared to the bikes that I am so used to daily riding. What do we have here? So anyway, I just had a lot of work done to my Road Glide, and oh my God, do I love it. She's beautiful, she looks great, she performs great, she's sexy, I love it. Holy shit, the cost. So here's what I'm gonna say is, I have some friends who were getting some quotes on like new tires. Dude, dealerships are charging over $1,000 just to get new tires put on. I think the last time I had to get tires put on one of my bikes, I paid maybe $800 total, and that was including the tires. But I don't understand. So basically, just dude, the cost of anything anymore, is so scary. And as I just mentioned, like, yeah, you know, I do this for a job. This is my job, so I can write off. You know, I do write-offs. I record everything for tax purposes and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean that it saves me money. That just means that it saves me on taxes. So, yeah, it's not, I'm not, I don't want to complain about money to you guys because it like finances are all, it's interpreted differently. I remember being in my early 20s and I had friends who would buy, you know, street glides and stuff and spend $25,000, $30,000 on these motorcycles. And I'm like, how the hell do you justify spending that much money on a motorcycle? I can't even afford a car that expensive. So it is all just, you know, personal opinion, and everyone's finances are different. If people ask, I get people that ask me all the time, how do I afford the things I afford? I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. I had my accountant sit down with me when I was in my mid-20s. I was over $60,000 in debt with student loans. I do have a bachelor's degree. I paid for my college. I didn't get crazy scholarships. I didn't have daddy's money. Like, I was raised poor. So everything that I have, I definitely worked for. You know, I did have help. I had support from my family. I had love and people wanting me to get my education, and it was great. I was very well supported in the family world, just not financially, which if I had to pick anything, I would definitely be supported by my family instead of financially, because money comes and goes. Family, you don't get do-overs. I worked really hard to pay off my student loan debt. I did not have any savings to my name. You know, I was with my husband back then. We had just gotten married. We couldn't afford to have a real big wedding, and it just, you can go ahead. It just kind of was a very slow, hard process for us to learn a lot of this stuff. And the older I got, the more I realized, like, I don't want debt. I know America lives in debt, and that's how we acquire the American dream, but I don't want that, man. I don't want to owe anyone anything. I want to get rid of everything. So when I started making YouTube videos about riding motorcycles, I was sick to my stomach when I bought this bike. I bought this bike used in 2018 for a little over $11,000. Dude, I don't know how I did it. I couldn't justify it. It made my stomach hurt thinking about it, but this was well before I started a channel too. So for me, it was just for fun. I just wanted to buy this motorcycle because it was fun and I was really enjoying the ride. And I remember my husband telling me, which, by the way, I was the breadwinner, and I was asking him for permission, basically, but he's like, dude, you love this. This is your life. Buy it. If it's going to make you happy and it's going to take you further and you're going to feel more secure, absolutely buy the bike. And so I did. I bought her, and I tried to pay her off as soon as I could because I hated that $300 a month motorcycle payment. It didn't feel real. So yeah, I just, I'm not sure where I was going with that financial tangent, but people ask me how I afford this. And long story short, well, I feel like I need to have a cup of coffee when I tell you the rest of this part. Well, I wanted to go sit in the sun like a lizard, but the deck of the coffee shop I was trying to go to, out of commission. Very sad. But basically, I'm actually looking at my motorcycle as I talk to you right now. Basically, the how do I afford this? That's not what this video is about, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little insight into it because I see the comment a lot. So I am in my mid-30s. I do not have children by choice. I live as debt-free as possible. I got myself a good education, a good career directly out of school, and I saved as much money as possible. So a lot of people ask me, like, how do you afford to do this? I sacrifice a lot of other, like, common things that I feel like most people in society either have or choose to do. So luckily, I got myself a career now where it just kind of happened. I definitely worked for it, but it just kind of happened that I get to make YouTube videos and ride motorcycles. So I don't feel like I need to go on vacation ever, truly, because I kind of get vacations every time I travel on my bikes and on company bikes and stuff like that. And then again, I don't have kids, man. A lot of people ask me, like, how do I afford this? I'm like, it's because I'm not paying a complete other mortgage or all of this daycare and stuff like that because I chose not to have children. And then of course in my teenage years and especially in my early 20s, I was flat broke. like flat broke. We couldn't afford rent. We were living in a warehouse at one point. My boyfriend at the time, my now husband, our dog, and it just was really rough times for us. Now into my 30s, I feel like I'm finally starting to live the life that I have like always dreamed of. And so having these adventures and these bikes and these experiences are just a priority to me, and I'll try to make it work. I don't have flashy cars, you know, our vehicles. We have a 10-year-old used truck, just because we really needed a truck. And then I have a 20-year-old used, kind of falling apart Honda CRV. Like, I don't have nice cars. The nicest things I own are my motorcycles, and that's it. And I have my health. So, not taking anything for granted in this situation. So with all of that being said, these newer bikes are wonderful, like pure luxury, and I love them. But it's scary how expensive it is to maintain this type of technology and just afford basic maintenance anymore. So that is why we're giving the Dyna some refreshing. Ooh, well, the good news, motorcycle sitting out in the sun warms the seat up. That's nice and toasty. Yeah. Let's go ahead and skedaddle. My eyeballs are shaking so damn bad. Man, I really miss riding with T-bars. A lot of you guys asked me what I thought was wrong with the stock bars on my Road Glide. Nothing, man. The stock bars were perfect. I just really missed having the T-bar set up. I really love how it looks. Now that I don't ride this bike very often, or at least I don't ride it long distances anymore, I'm thinking about putting the shorter windshield on the front. I do have a 10-inch, 8 or 10. It might even be 8 inches. But anyway, it's a shorter windshield for this Road Warrior fairing. This is a Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. Absolutely love the aesthetic and the look of this fairing and this bike. So yeah. But basically, as I was saying, we're going to try to keep this bike just as in tip-top condition and running as smooth as possible for as long as possible, because it's pure. It's basic, and we know that it will pretty much run forever. Hello, buddies. So yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, but we're not doing any of that in this video. This is just kind of, hell yeah. God, I love the look of those Mercedes. Could never afford one, but look at how stout that thing is. Just chubby. I like it. I can tell my coffee's kicking in. Woo, baby. Anyway, yeah, not doing any of that in this video. It's just a little embarrassing how foreign this bike feels to me now. Man, I used to know this bike absolutely like the back of my hand. I literally used to scrape peg on this motorcycle, and dude, when I say that, like, you better believe it shocked me the first time I did it too. But that's just how well I knew this bike. I knew the limits of, you know, my lean angle and the acceleration and everything. And it makes me sad that I don't know that anymore. But you know what? I'm perfectly okay. This bike is exactly what I needed it to be. This bike changed my life. Like, I'm actually getting emotional talking about it. And people make fun of me for talking about inanimate objects the way I do. Y'all, go get an imagination, okay? Get a life. Let people be happy. These bikes have soul. I don't care if it's an inanimate object. This motorcycle has soul. And some bikes don't. I'm telling you right now, I have ridden some motorcycles where I'm like, nope, this is a machine. But some bikes just have soul. And I love it, and I will continue to treat my bikes like my babies, and they will continue to treat me safe as well. I got my husband's permission, basically. Not that I needed it. It was my bike, not his. Got his permission to buy this bike back in 2018, and like I said, it changed my life. I never truly thought I would ever ride a motorcycle out of the state of Ohio. I never thought I would take long road trips or go camping, or I didn't think of it until I finally realized, like, I want to do this. And I did not have a motorcycle capable of doing it. My first bike was a 2004 Honda Shadow, and it just could not do the things I needed it to do. So when I upgraded to the Dyna, I thought all my problems were solved. I was like, this is a bike I will never need to grow from. And it's technically true. This bike really can do everything I need it to do, just not as comfortably as the bikes I currently have now. But yeah, that's kind of just my story of Knox. and how this motorcycle changed my life. And so I kind of just want to give back. Give back to her, I mean, to this bike that did everything she needed to do. She definitely had some maintenance issues. You know, we had to fix her neck once. She had her motor mounts went bad. You know, she's got a 30,000 miles on her. She's old. She's an old girl, so try to take care of her. But she's mine, and she's beautiful, and she forever changed my world. I started this YouTube channel on the back of a 96 cubic inch twin cam Harley Davidson, and I'll never take that for granted. So if you guys are interested in seeing more Dyna content, head over to my husband's channel, give him a subscribe. He doesn't post as regularly as I do, but just as entertaining in a completely different fashion. And then obviously I hope you guys give this channel a subscribe. This is a very old school, you know, people tell me my content has changed, and I'm like, of course it has, dude. The world has changed. My bikes have changed, I've changed, nobody's the exact same. So this is very old school motovlog, her two wheels, just hanging out with me, Jess, and two wheels, whatever that may be. So I hope you guys consider subscribing to the channel. I've been doing this for 5 years, and it's all because of this beautiful motorcycle, my baby. So we're gonna get her ship shape here soon, and maybe even have some surprise guests come visit and ride the motorcycle for us. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And until my next one, as always, you be good, ride motorcycles, and I'll catch you later.